In the realm of football management, one name shines brighter than most. Pep Guardiola, the maestro of tactical brilliance, has carved his name into the annals of the sport. His ability to orchestrate beautiful, mesmerising football has captivated fans and experts alike. In this video, we delve into the mind of Pep Guardiola, specifically the Pep Guardiola of 2008 and that immortal Barcelona team. And today we focus on his virtual mastery with his 4-3-3. Yes, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't noticed already, we have undergone a rebrand, and I really hope that you like the new logo and the new name. And we are so close to 500 subscribers. So if you are watching this and you haven't subscribed, hit that button now. Let's get to 500. Really appreciate everybody's support. But onto this video, and let's show you how we get on. Now, our first simulation was ran with Liverpool, and with Liverpool, we did win the league. 38 games, 26 wins, and 85 points. Domestically, it wasn't terrible, as we also picked up a win in the Carabao Cup, but we did get knocked out of the round of 16 in the Champions League by Sporting Lisbon. We were also knocked out in the third round of the FA Cup by Arsenal. So a mixed bag on the trophy front, but when we look at the data hub, defensively, we were sensational. The conceded per game, goals against per game, or expected goals per against the game were really good, and our passing percentage was a lot higher than the rest of the league, with Andy Robertson outperforming the rest of the league in his key statistics. But when we drill down and we look at where the team really excelled, all of our goals were scored by one man, and that man was Mohamed Salah. He got 35 goals in 51 appearances. He was also our top assist maker with 9. Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz chipped in with 15 and 14 respectively, but we really did rely heavily on the Egyptian. Now, over in Italy, it was a completely different story. It was, in no uncertain terms, a disaster, as we finished 9th in the Serie A with 63 points, 21 points behind the eventual winners, who were Atalanta. We did go out of the UEFA Champions League in the group stage, with Chelsea and Eintracht Frankfurt getting through the group, and we were knocked out in the round of 16 of the Europa League by Manchester United. We lost in the semi-finals of the Coppa Italia and finished runners-up in the Super Cup, so nothing to sing home about when we look at our domestic and European performances. And the data hub doesn't really tell us much of a better story. Aside from our passing percentage being better than the rest of the league, everything else was pretty average, and our actual shots conceded per game, well, that was dreadful. Now, when we look at where the goals came from our team, our top scorer was Hakan Çalhanoğlu. He got 15, Lautaro Martinez 14, and Henrik Mkhitaryan 10. So no one player actually was able to find the back of the net on a regular or consistent basis. And the assists were pretty bang average too. Our top assist maker was Henrik Mkhitaryan, who got 8, and Çalhanoğlu, our top scorer, also got 7, which shows that actually we just couldn't do anything right with this formation. And it wouldn't be a Pep Guardiola tactic test without us doing a season with the Catalans, with Barcelona. And it was just as disastrous as we'd been in Italy. We finished 7th in La Liga, a whopping 34 points behind the league winners Real Madrid. We were knocked out in the Champions League group stages. However, it was a tough group with Napoli and PSG going through, but we were then knocked out of the Europa League in the round of 16 by Arsenal. That means no team that we have tested this tactic with got past the round of 16 at all. We were also knocked out in the 4th round of the Copa del Rey and lost in the semi-finals of the Supercopa de España. And when we review the data hub, it's again pretty ugly reading. We didn't excel in any one area. We were slightly better in almost everywhere apart from conceded per game, but not good enough to actually make a dent in the rest of the league's performance. And when we delve deeper into this and we look at who scored our goals and who assisted them, without Lewandowski or Dembele, it's fair to say our season would have been an ultra disaster. Lewandowski bagging 32 goals in 45 games, and Dembele chipping in with 15 assists in 46. Dembele the only player in any of these experiments to get more than 9 assists all season. That is a real concern if you are looking to use this tactic. And the in-game action we've decided to bring you this week is from Barcelona's game with Getafe. Now, Getafe had taken an early 1-0 lead from a corner, and Barcelona hit back when this happened from a free kick. Now, Gavi whips the ball in back post to Araujo, who wins the header over Mitrovic, a pretty bog-standard goal. As you can see from the passing map here, it is all focused in the middle. It's so dependent on your striker dropping deep to be able to link up with your midfield. It's really not a tactic to expect loads and loads of goals out of. Now, that said, the tactic could be better if we managed it in game. Remember, these are simulations, and the point of the simulation is to see how it goes when we don't touch the tactic at all. Because when these are put on Sort It Outside and FM Scout, they don't tell you what they changed in game, they just show you the results. Now, what I'm trying to show is that actually those results that you're seeing, the ones where you get the unbeaten seasons, they don't happen unless you make in-game changes. The tactic is not cookie cutter. It isn't just get it out of the box, plug it into your game, and it goes and it works. And that's the point of these tests. So far, this tactic has disappointed. Yes, we won the Premier League, but it was with Liverpool, who are very overpowered on this year's game. So, what we need to do now is have a look at exactly how this tactic works. Now, it is a standard 4-3-3, and if you remember back to that great 08 team, he had Victor Valdez in goal as a sweeper keeper. On the right-hand side, you have a complete wing-back who's going to aim his crosses for the far post, and they're being instructed to mark tighter. Now, when I've looked at this, every player, I'll just go through these very quickly, has mark tighter, and I don't like it. And I will come on to it in a minute and why I think this tactic just doesn't work as a result. Next to your complete wingback, you have your ball-playing defender. I don't like them having shoot less often. I think if you've got a ball-playing defender, that's the kind of player you want to make plays and get forward a little bit, take long-range shots. That is what you want that to do, in my opinion. So I think you're shackling that a little bit. And then you have a central defender next to him. And that is where your central defender should be mopping it up after your ball-playing defender here. So when he goes forward, the whole reason you have a halfback is he goes up here. Let's say he goes to there, your halfback will drop in. Now on the left you have a wing back, and the wing back is set for cross from the byline, stay wider, and also mark tighter. Again, I don't like it. Your halfback closing down more and marking tighter, they don't work together. If you're marking tighter, you don't have to close down because you've already closed them down. That's the point of being marked tightly. So again, take one of them off. It doesn't make sense. This is a real issue for me in midfield as well when you have a deep line playmaker and an advanced playmaker playing together. I like to pair my deep line playmaker or my advanced playmaker with a box-to-box midfielder. The reason being is both of these players want to make plays into the front line, which occasionally means they're making runs. Your advanced playmaker is going to be playing up here anyway, primarily, which means this is a hole next to your deep line playmaker in the midfield. Doesn't work. So your deep line playmaker has a pass it shorter. So essentially what the creator of this tactic wants him to do is just lay it off to this guy here. Well, if that's the case, it's pointless having him. Don't have him as a deep line playmaker. And then you have an advanced playmaker next to him who again is going to pass it shorter, get further forward and roam. Remember what I said about this now being a hole. So he's not there. Let's just get rid of him. We'll take him off the screen. He isn't here, essentially. On the left, you have an inside forward who's going to sit nice and narrow. Remember, your left back is going to be bombing on, up and down, getting those crosses in, so it makes sense to have him sat narrow. But again, he's got marked tighter and tackle harder. One of the key things about the Barcelona team was they closed down, but they didn't really go in for crunching tackles, if I, from memory. And on the right, you also have an inside forward, but you're telling them to shoot less often. I'm going to come on to this one in a second, because this really did grind my gears when I saw it. Up front next to here, and then up front leading the line, you have a complete forward who again has shoot less often. Now, why have you got your striker and your right winger set to shoot less often? You have 3 attackers in this team, and 2 of them you're telling you don't want to shoot, and one of them is leading your line. Now, I could understand if it was your 2 wingers you're telling not to don't shoot very often, but it's not. It's your actual striker. Doesn't make sense. Lionel Messi used to play up front for Pep, remember, and he wasn't told to shoot less often. The guy scored literally hundreds of goals playing for Pep Guardiola, so I don't think that's right. Onto the team then, you have a positive mentality, and in possession we are going to play fairly narrow. Remember, we're using our fullbacks to bomb on and create the crossing opportunities. We're going to play it out of defence and work the ball into the box. That all makes sense. Dribbling less, again, pass and move football. I think the pace is a little bit slow, which is probably why we didn't create as much. I think if you up that slightly to slightly lower, doesn't have to be here, but just that change there makes a massive difference, because it's considered, it's very patient. But if you go to here, it's still the same, but they're not. You'll play a bit more one-touch football, and I think that sometimes has to happen. In transition, so when turnovers happen, we're going to counter press and try and win the ball back. And if we do win it back, we're going to hold our shape, retain possession, and build again. When we get the ball with our goalkeeper, we're going to distribute it to the centre-backs and take short kicks. I mean, you could change that to roll it out. You could even just take that off. And to be honest, it'll grey out long kicks and it's fine. But that's how we set it up. And then out of possession. Nice high line for the attack and the defence. They're going to step up more. They're going to try and play that offside trap. If they can't catch them offside, they're going to trap them outside and force them to cross, where you hope your centre-backs will mop that up. However, based on what's happened over the course of these simulations, I don't think that'll happen. We're trigger pressing more often, and we are preventing short goalkeeper distribution. So that's how the tactic works. Honestly, it doesn't work. That's the problem. It's a 4 out of 10 at most for me. I wanted it to work so badly because Pep Guardiola is probably, the best manager around today. His tactics are sensational. The way Man City play football now is brilliant. The way Barcelona play football back then is brilliant. The way his tactic has evolved over time is really, really clever. But it just doesn't, and that's a shame. However, we do have 2 more tactics coming in the Pep Guardiola series, with the next one next week. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how we get on with that one, because I'd love just one of them to work. I really, really would. But remember, please hit subscribe. We are so close to 500. I am, really want to get there. I'd love to get there before the end of the year. I know we're very close, but honestly, I really would. I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll have Wrexham Wednesdays out on Thursday this week because I had issues. This is why this is coming out on a Wednesday. This should be out on a Tuesday, Wrexham Wednesday. And then on Friday, we have the Leonardo DiCaprio series where we don't have anybody over the age of 25 playing in the team, the DiCaprio Challenge. I don't think the challenge will last that long. It could just be the one episode, but we'll have a look anyway. I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. I'll see you soon. You have a great day.